What's fascinating about them? Large cities flourished in the Amazon. Incredible cities, advanced arts and crafts, millions of people, a thriving culture. It's a wonderful mystery in a world where nearly every corner is mapped. We're now about 5 miles from Tristan d'Unna. Any minute now, hopefully it's going to appear through that mist. So 18 days of sailing out of Cape Town is about to come to an end. Some places remain astonishingly inaccessible, shrouded in mystery and isolation, from icy poles to remote islands and rugged mountains. These are locations so distant and challenging to reach that few ever venture there. Here's a fascinating journey through 15 of the most isolated places on Earth, places that defy exploration and push the limits of human endurance. Point Nemo, located in the remote South Pacific Ocean. Point Nemo is the oceanic pole of inaccessibility, the point on Earth farthest from any land, positioned around 2,688 kilometers, 1,450 nautical miles from the nearest land mass. Point Nemo sits in a region that is almost entirely undisturbed by human presence. It is so remote that the closest humans to this area are often astronauts orbiting aboard the International Space Station hundreds of kilometers above. Named after Captain Nemo, the mysterious mariner in Jules Verne, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Point Nemo is also known as the spacecraft graveyard. I think that really puts what we're doing in perspective. We're crazy. There's no one else down here. That is very apparent when you look at the chart and you talk about Point Nemo and what it represents. For decades, international space agencies have used this vast empty stretch of ocean to deorbit and dispose of defunct satellite space stations and other space debris. With its minimal human activity, the area is an ideal location to minimize the risks posed by falling space equipment, especially as large objects plummet to Earth and disintegrate on re-entry. Point Nemo's remoteness contributes to its relatively pristine environment. Untouched by fishing or pollution, the waters around Point Nemo are rarely trafficked by commercial or recreational vessels, meaning the ecosystems are among the least disturbed in the world. However, recent studies have discovered traces of microplastics even in this distant location, highlighting the far-reaching effects of human activity on our oceans. Tristan d'Unna, situated in the South Atlantic Ocean. Tristan d'Unna is a volcanic island known as the most remote inhabited place on Earth, roughly 2,400 kilometers, 1,500 miles from the nearest inhabited land. St. Helena. Tristan d'Unna's isolation has shaped a unique lifestyle for its small community of around 250 residents who rely on each other for almost everything. Tristan d'Unna is part of a small volcanic archipelago that also includes uninhabited islands like Inaccessible Island and Nightingale Island. The main island, with its towering volcanic peak and rugged landscape, offers limited arable land which the residents utilize for subsistence farming, livestock and fishing. Self-sufficiency is a necessity here, as residents must grow and produce most of their food, including potatoes, vegetables and fish. There's a single village, Edinburgh of the Seven Seas, where all of Tristan's residents live. Accessibility to Tristan d'Unna is extremely limited, with no airport or direct flights. Well, after 3 weeks at sea, we finally made it. I had my doubts at a few points, but here we are. Welcome to the most remote inhabited island in the world. Travel is only possible by sea, often on fishing or cargo ships from South Africa, which take about a week to reach the island under favorable conditions. Ships visit infrequently, making it challenging to get supplies or make routine trips off the island to the residents. The annual arrival of supply ships brings much needed provisions and any mail from loved ones overseas, marking one of the rare points of contact with the outside world. Bouvet Island. Bouvet Island, a subantarctic island in the South Atlantic Ocean, is one of the most remote and isolated places on Earth, officially belonging to Norway. This uninhabited island lies over 1,600 kilometers from the nearest land, which includes Queen M Land in Antarctic Arctica. Bouvet Island is primarily covered by glaciers and surrounded by rough icy waters, making it extremely challenging to reach even for the most seasoned explorers and researchers. The island's harsh environment and steep cliffs create nearly impossible conditions along its coastlines, further complicating access. Temperatures hover just above freezing year-round, and strong winds and storms are frequent, adding to the hazards that deter any regular visits. So in this Beam Radio, we have in a way a ranking list of all the countries we try to contact on, and Bouvet Island is ranked number 2. It's a very rare island. Very few people go there on this expedition. The island is also largely covered in ice and snow, and there's little vegetation. What few life forms thrive here include hardy mosses, lions and the occasional seabird. For marine life, however, Bouvet Island's surrounding waters are a valuable feeding ground, and seals and penguins can often be seen on its shores. Bouvet Island's remoteness has sparked scientific interest and occasional curiosity-driven expeditions. Some researchers have ventured to study its unique subantarctic ecosystem and observe marine animals. In recent years, satellite technology has allowed scientists to monitor the island from afar, sparing them from enduring Its harsh weather and challenging access. Eurasian Pole of Inaccessibility. The Eurasian Pole of Inaccessibility, located in China's Xinjiang region, holds the title of the farthest point from any ocean in Eurasia. This unique spot lies approximately 2,645 kilometers (1,644 miles) from the nearest coastline, placing it squarely in the heart of the arid, desolate wilderness of Central Asia. The region's rugged terrain, characterized by expansive deserts and mountains, present a challenging environment that few have reason to visit. Reaching the Eurasian Pole of Inaccessibility is a feat in itself, involving lengthy travel through rough and often unpredictable landscapes. It's located in a sparsely populated area dominated by the Goi Desert, stretching into remote parts of Kazakhstan, Russia, and Mongolia. The temperature extremes can be intense, with scorching hot summers and bitterly cold winters. The unforgiving climate, combined with a scarcity of water sources and resources, make long-term habitation almost impossible. This pole of inaccessibility is more than a geographic curiosity. It symbolizes the vastness of the Asian continent and how parts of it remain largely untouched by human development. Even today, few researchers or explorers venture to this remote spot, and its primary visitors are scientists interested in its unique geography or adventurous travelers seeking to reach one of the most isolated points on Earth. Antarctic Pole of Inaccessibility. The Antarctic Pole of Inaccessibility. Let me know if there's anything you'd like clarified. Rugged and mountainous region was long considered China's most isolated county until recently. Zhou was the last county in China without a highway connection, accessible only by footpaths and suspension bridges through dense forests and treacherous mountains. Known for its breathtaking landscapes and abundant biodiversity, Moto is surrounded by lush subtropical rainforests that contrast dramatically with the snow-capped Himalayan peaks. The remoteness of Madowa County is due in part to the difficult terrain that surrounds it. The area is prone to landslides, frequent earthquakes, and extreme weather, which hindered construction efforts for decades. This is the world's riskiest project. It's technically most difficult to build, the most expensive project ever undertaken on anywhere in the world. A highway connecting Madowa to the rest of China was finally completed in 2013, involving 3,310 m long Galong Tunnel, which burrows through steep mountains. The road provides year-round access, but the journey remains challenging as the road is narrow, winding, and vulnerable to natural hazards. Moto is considered a sacred place in Tibetan culture and draws pilgrims and explorers alike. Known as the Hidden Lotus of Tibet, Moto holds significant spiritual importance and is often called a Buddhist paradise. Its forest is home to rare flora and fauna, including red pandas, snow leopards, and thousands of plant species. Wuhan, Russia. Wuhan, located in the Sakha Republic of Siberia, Russia, holds the record as one of the coldest inhabited places on Earth, with winter temperatures regularly dipping below -50 degrees Celsius and a record low of -67.7 degrees Celsius set in 1933. Oak's extreme climate is legendary. The village's remote location and brutal winters define life for its inhabitants, who are known for their resilience and ability to adapt to the harsh conditions. Very cold. Nestled in a valley along the Indijurka River, Oak's landscape is starkly beautiful, with vast snowy plains, frozen rivers, and forested mountains. The isolation of the village makes it accessible primarily by unpaved roads, with travel limited during the harsh winter months. Residents of Zun rely on traditional practices to survive, including hunting, fishing, and raising hardy livestock. Reindeer herding and fur trading are common livelihoods, providing both sustenance and income. The subarctic climate imposes unique challenges, from frozen plumbing systems to limited daylight during the winter months. Why on the ground is permafrost, and digging even a few feet down is impossible without heavy machinery. Cars must be left running continuously to avoid freezing, and locals rely on high-fat diets, often including reindeer meat and fish, to sustain their energy levels. Continuation with similar format for other locations like Lanada, McMurdo Station, Socotra Island, Idoka Kordoormite, and Easter Island.